I'm Brian, Professor B. Davis, for your San Francisco 49ers postgame recap on Niners Radio. Sunday, the early game at M&T Bank Stadium, the 49ers dropped a 20-17 decision to the Baltimore Ravens in the rematch of Super Bowl 47 in what would be a potential possible preview of Super Bowl 54 coming in January or in February in Miami, as kicker Justin Tucker hit a game-winning field goal as time has expired to give the Ravens a 20-17 win over your 49ers, as Lamar Jackson, probably the prime candidate for the NFL's most valuable player. He was 14 of 23, 105 yards passing with a touchdown. He carried the ball 16 times for 101 yards in a touchdown. He averaged 6.3 yards total per touch six and a total of 206 all-purpose yards, with a net average of 6.8 altogether. Mark Andrews, 3 catches for 50 yards and a touchdown. Tucker was 2 for 2 for the field goals. And then for the 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo, 15 of 21. He threw for a touchdown pass. Raheem Mostert led the day for the 49ers, including that big touchdown run. He was 19 carries for 146 yards, averaging 7.7 yards on the ground. Deebo Samuel, 2 catches for 41 yards and a touchdown. Kendrick Bourne led the Niners with 3 receptions with 42 yards, averaging 14 yards. Emmanuel Sanders, 4 catches for 41 yards and a touchdown, averaging 10.3 yards a catch. Robbie Gould was one out of 2 in 3 field goal attempts, and he missed a field goal which was partially blocked, to be exact, as the first half ended right before intermission. And then looking at the total plays, the Niners outgained the Ravens 331 yards to 283. And then the time of possession was nearly 5 minutes. The Ravens 32 minutes, 26 seconds to the Niners, 27 minutes, 34 seconds. But the penalties really hurt the Niners on the 3 penalties on the personal foul penalties, on the roughing the quarterback on Lamar Jackson. Niners were hit 6 times for 54 yards, while the Ravens only were flagged 3 times for 23 yards. Total plays, Ravens 62, Niners 52. And identical, Ravens 178 rushing on the ground to the Niners 174. So if you're looking at this loss, it's not the end of the world. I mean, you'd rather take a win's a win, a loss is a loss. There's no sugarcoating it. Looking back of this game, you'd say, hey, if you're going to lose, you lose to an AFC team. This was an interconference game. It would have been nice they would have got a quality win up there in the East Coast, but the Niners looking at the big picture with the big fish to fry, what is ahead of this part of this main course schedule, as we now flip the calendar from November to the first day of December 1st. The next game for the 49ers will be they'll travel. In fact, they will travel to Florida, to IMG Academy, where they'll practice all week this coming week. Then they'll be back in action. They'll go to New Orleans and take on the Saints, back at it at the Superdome in New Orleans 1 week from today. And it's another Sunday morning kickoff time. Kickoff time will be at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Game will be seen locally on Fox, KTVU Fox 2 in the Bay Area, and on the Niners flagship station, KNBR 680, as Greg Papa and Tim Ryan with the play-by-play in action at the Superdome in New Orleans. Reminder, Niner fans, playing football left. The next home game, Niners' next home game will turn to the Mecca at Levi Stadium. That will be in 2 weeks from today. They'll be taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Purchase your tickets for your next home game go to 49ers.com via Ticketmaster.com, the official ticket partner of the NFL. And for all the latest news on 49ers events, news, stats, and so much more, go to 49ers.com. Once again, the final score Sunday. the Niners fell to the Baltimore Ravens at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. As the Baltimore Ravens, by the way, that's their 5th win over San Francisco in their last 6 games. 5 of the last 6 games. Niners have never beaten the Ravens at M&T Stadium. In fact, the Niners have not won a game in the city of Baltimore since way back, or have not beaten a Baltimore franchise team in Baltimore since way back in 1969 when the Niners beat Giant Unitas and the Baltimore Colts back in 1969. In the meantime, that's it for now. I'm Brian Professor B. Davis, and so long. The 49ers fell to the Baltimore Ravens, and the Ravens defeat the 49ers Sunday afternoon at M&T Stadium in Baltimore. The Ravens 20 and your San Francisco 49ers 17. I'm Brian Professor B. Davis for Niners Radio. Niners Radio is an association with ASN Bay Area. 49er football. Faithful then, faithful now.